What up? This is the Drip Lord, Mr. Swayze, and 6ix9ine is officially done with his testimony, and now they are cross-examining 6ix9ine's driver, Jorge Rivera. Now it says 6ix9ine's driver, Jorge Rivera, is in a light suit and blue tie. He's testifying in Spanish, and they ask him, Mr. Rivera, was there another shooting later that same night? And he answers, yes. What happened? We heard other people walking towards us, and they started shouting. Question, what happened after the gun went off? And he answers, the police started searching us. When the police frisked me, they didn't find anything. Mr. Rivera, I want to switch gears now. What is your immigration status? Did there come a time you were arrested by ICE? And he answers, yes. While you were detained, did you speak with law enforcement about cooperating? And Mr. Rivera replies, yes. Mr. Rivera, when you were released, did you start driving for Mr. Hernandez again? And he answers, yes. As a confidential informant? And then the judge interrupts and says, why don't you stretch your legs while we're taking a brief break? So at this point, they go on a break. And when they get back, they ask Jorge, Mr. Rivera, on July 22nd, 2018, was there a camera installed in that Chevrolet Tahoe? And he says, yes. Was it recording? And he replies, yes. Now the judge says, Mr. Warren, the witness is testifying about the thought process of Mr. Hernandez. You need to focus him on what was said. And now at this point, they pause the evidence at 12 seconds and they question Mr. Rivera. Did you know where in Park Slope Andrew lived? And he says, no. It's paused at 1 minute for the record. Mr. Rivera, what did you just tell Mr. Hernandez? And he says that our car was hit from behind. Question, and why were you going to get them due? And the judge interrupts and says, why did the camera get more narrow in its view? Damn, so they had some high-tech cameras in this shit. Mr. Rivera, did you have 2 cameras installed in the car? Yes, one is always pointed ahead. Remember, I used to work for a car service. My customers, they were always recorded. After you walked back to the car, where did he point the gun at you? And Jorge says, at my head. Now at this point, they're playing the video of the carjacking again. And they ask Jorge, did you make a recording on July 26, 2018 of Mr. Hernandez and Shadi? And he says, yes. What is it your understanding the government will do in exchange for your cooperation? And Rivera answers, they'll give me a letter saying all the good as well as the bad things that I have done. So apparently, 6ix9ine's driver, Jorge Rivera, is also hoping to get a 5K1 letter. Cross-examination. Mr. Rivera, were you aware that Mr. Hernandez had a number of radio and social media appearances on July 22nd and 23rd, right after the supposed kidnapping? And he answers, no, only the Instagram video that I saw. Do you recall watching a video of Mr. Hernandez being interviewed by Angie Martinez? And he says, I started watching it, but I never finished it. Did you ever advise Tekashi that you were cooperating with the law enforcement? And he says, no. Did you ever come to believe that Tekashi suspected you of cooperating? And he says, yes, towards the end. Now, that's the end of the coverage for Jorge Rivera's 6ix9ine's driver taking the stand. And before I go any further, I just want to give credit where it's due. Inner City Press has been keeping us informed and updated with this 6ix9ine trial, and he's the true MVP, if you ask me. So follow Inner City Press on Twitter. But before I go, here's a quick question. We understand that 6ix9ine testified and took the stand, and many refer to 6ix9ine as a snitch. a rat. But when it comes to his driver, Jorge Rivera, can we also put him in the same category as 6ix9ine? Is Jorge Rivera also a snitch? Now, the reason why I'm asking this question is because if you ask me, he kind of has nothing to do with anything. He was just their driver. He didn't sign up to be a part of Treyway. He didn't sign up to be a blood. And when ICE came down on him, in order for him to not get sent back to his home country, he started cooperating. Now just sit back and imagine this. You're a driver for a popular hip-hop artist, right? And this guy got you driving to his ops neighborhood so he could spin the block and dump the hammer out the window while you're driving the car. You didn't agree to any of this. You didn't even know that this was necessarily the ops neighborhood you was driving to. But now this guy is dumping the steel out of your Chevrolet Tahoe. What do you do? What do you do at that point? So my question is this. Is Jorge Rivera a snitch? Would he be considered a rat? Or is he just a regular citizen that should not be held to the same standards of 6ix9ine and the Treyway gang members? Pull up in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this situation. But if you like the video, don't forget to share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and make sure you hit that notification button. But I'm off this. Mr.
Fuck the rotation. We just finished facing. We're half on the O, and niggas still blazing. Man, fuck the rotation. We just finished facing.